We back, Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building talking about the Detroit Pistons 2017-2018 wrap up. Obviously, this year was a major failure for Stan Van Gundy and the Pistons. And they finished 39-43 in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference stepped it up a little bit this year. And, as far as, not being as weak as it once was, I mean, no excuses for the Pistons, though. They finished just behind the Washington Wizards, who missed John Wall for a nice chunk of the season. Philadelphia got better. Toronto been Toronto. Boston was better than expected before the injury bug ate them. Victor Oladipo and Indiana were way better than expected. Most people thought them would be a lottery team. And, Miami, I thought they should have made it last year if Deion Waiters didn't get hurt. They overcame the Deion Waiters injury bug this year. So, it's no real team to say, damn, I can't believe they made it over the Pistons. Just simply, Pistons wasn't that good this year. People say, what if Reggie Jackson come back? He ain't the answer. He's not the answer at all. The answer starts off with getting somebody young and innovative to run this team and, giving Detroit hope that the Pistons are back on the right track. And I believe that starts with Chauncey Billups as being the head of the organization, giving them free reign just like you gave Stan Van Gundy. And as an organization, picking the right young innovative coach to come in and can be on the same accord with Chauncey about drafting and acquiring talent. And the Pistons going to have to do it through the draft, And I said, you got to trade Blake Griffin. It was a mistake. I supported the move because I knew what Tom Gores and Van Gundy was trying to do. They were trying to put some seats in the stadium. But basically, it's a good trade scenario for Blake Griffin. If Paul George walks from Oklahoma City, you can basically send Blake Griffin over to Oklahoma City for a first or second rounder just to get the money off the books. They'll love Oklahoma. They would love Blake Griffin in Oklahoma City because that's where he's from. And I think he would be well with Russell Westbrook. He cannot have the ball in his hand all the time. They feed off Westbrook, and, they could do whatever they do with Carmelo, in my opinion. Just don't send him back to Detroit. But as far as Reggie Jackson, he's functionable. He can be part of the rebuild for now. He only got 2 more years on this contract. And like I said, we trying to be bad. Because you got to be bad. There's some great drafts coming up. You got to be bad. And I think they might have shipped some of them draft picks off to the Clippers the next 2 years. But if they top 3 or top 5 protected, you just got to roll the dice. The Pistons going to have to be horribly bad. Stop trying to be fringe bad and miss the playoffs and be 7th, 8th, 6th seed bad, or be in the middle of the pack. In the NBA, this ain't the NFL or MLB. You want to be at the top, be a championship contender, or you want to be terrible. Because if you're terrible, especially in a city like Detroit, that's not LA, it's not Chicago, that's not Miami, it's not a glamour city. You feel me? You want to be bad. You want to be able to get top talent and show them that the Pistons organization is a first-class organization. A lot of people and young ball players don't know. They was the first team with a private jet. First class locker room, first class practice facility, and I think people need to start recognizing that, man. They need to get back to that. You get the rookies there, you groom them. You got to do something that's innovative, to keep them engaged, to keep them focused. As far as I don't know what it is, but that's what they get paid to think about that. Do something different that other organizations not doing, And that's up to you guys, That's up to them to make that. You got to make some people want to come here. Once you get the draftees like Philadelphia did, because nobody want to go to Philly, for real. Once you get the draftees there, they'll stick. They'll build a brotherhood, a bond. 2-3 years of the draft, you get 2 or 3 draft picks. Look how it changed Oklahoma City / Seattle Supersonics. It changed them. Russell, KD, Westbrook, James Harden, Ibaka. Changed them. You got to hit on some of them second rounders too. Some of them high risk, high reward type players. But you gotta get 2 elites. Got to. And it'd been nice to be in the cockpit this time and try to get DeAndre Ayton. And then turn around next year and get you a guard. Or move up and get you a guard. With some of the assets that you had. But they didn't do that. They sold out this year for Blake Griffin like they was a fringe championship contender, and it didn't pay off. And they still didn't put butts in the seat. But one thing I know for sure is that Stan Van Gundy, it's time to go. Like I said, bring in Chauncey. Help Chauncey get up to speed. Get a plan. Like I said, the Pistons got to tear it down and be totally, totally bad. If that's trading Andre Drummond, Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin, so be it. They got to go back to being what they was before Isaiah got there. Bad. Then you draft high, you get a guy like I said. Then you get a Joe Dumars. You get a, you acquire, all them other pieces, You acquire Dennis Rodman, a diamond in the rough. You feel me? That's what you got to do, You acquire John Sally. Then you start to make your pieces fit. You get a free agent like Bill Laimbeer. What the Pistons did in the 2000s with Joe Dumars, it won't be replicated. What they did with Isaiah, they can be replicated because that's a formula that's been proven to work over and over again. Being a bad team, getting top talent. Then filling in with free agents and diamonds in the rough and trade acquisitions. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Chauncey going to have to do. Or whoever they get a job. Hopefully it's still not Stan Van Gundy. But it was a failure. Missed the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. It is what it is. We gone.